Man, it's been, what, over a year since we talked, since Cage Warriors 96. How you been doing, brother?
I'm doing well. It's been a long time. I'm not sure what fight it was. That was the.
Barnett.
All right. Okay. Cool. Yeah. God, it was a long time ago. Yeah, I'm doing well. Doing really well. Yeah, I'm at Next Gen now. Next Generation. I wasn't with them when I was fighting Barnett. I was kind of like a bit of a lone ranger, but yeah, I've joined Next Generation Liverpool since then. So yeah, doing really well.
What was behind that change?
It was after the Fleminus fight. I'd had 2 losses in a row. I'd lost against the guy in Denmark who's in the UFC now, and then I lost to Fleminas. And I was even before the Fleminas fight, I was thinking of changing anyway. Went to another gym in Liverpool and didn't quite really. It was a really good gym, but I didn't quite get the feedback that I wanted there. And then tried Next Gen Liverpool, and yeah, fitted in really well. And I'm really pleased to be there.
What do you think they've added to your toolbox since joining?
I think the main thing has been training partners. Really, really, really good training partners. Guys who are, either top amateurs or top professional fighters. World title champions there and stuff. Obviously, the coaches there are great, and the coaches there are full time. That's their job. Whereas maybe before it was, the coaches were maybe part timers or guys who were doing it as a bit of a hobby. These guys are proper professional coaches.
Yeah, I imagine that makes a big difference in your training camp for sure, because they can dedicate all the time to you.
That's right.
So you're fighting Inmann, man. That's going to be a fun fight. Cage Warriors, what, 118? I don't know. There's so many of them in this 3 days. I don't know which one it's on.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same as you there. I've kind of lost track of which Cage Warriors we're on. I'm on the Friday. The Trilogy is the Thursday, Friday, and the Saturday. I'm on the Friday. Gotcha. Against Matt Inmann, which is, like you say, it's going to be a fun fight. It's a little bit of a strange one. He was the coach of the last guy who fought, George Smith. So yeah, it's a bit of a funny one. So so he's not fought for 3 years, but he's decided to come out of retirement to fight me for whatever reason. He's kind of come out and said that it wasn't anything to do with a beef over me beating, George. He was one of his main lads, but I'm sure there's a little bit more to it than he's admitting to.
Wait, so he specifically requested you?
Well, he said he's not. He said Cage Warriors offered me to him, and he just took the fight. But yeah, like I say, this is his first fight in 3 years, and it just so happened to be me who just beat his kind of prodigy. So I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a bit more spicy now. It's a little bit of extra drama involved.
Yeah. Cage Warriors is gonna push it too. This is the coach.
Yeah, that's what they're doing as well. I'm glad they are. Again, it just adds a little bit of drama, and a little bit more fun and stuff, and we all like a little bit of drama, don't we?
Yeah, nothing wrong with a little theater. So, what's training like for a guy who hadn't fought in 3 years? Are you working on yourself? Are you going to do some tape study on what he used to do, or what?
It's a bit of both, really. There is a lot of. I mean, Matt Inmann's had 30 fights, so there's a lot of footage out there to kind of look back. I tend not to delve too much into it. I kind of look at maybe his last 3 fights. I think his last one was against Craig White, which he lost, and how different people can be, in between fights. And I kind of appreciate he's probably got better in some aspects in those 3 years. He's probably been training. He's done a lot of coaching that time, so maybe he's a little bit better at breaking things down. But yeah, more. I do tend to think that I try and focus more on myself than who I'm fighting. After Matt Inmann, there's going to be plenty more fights, so you don't want to tailor your training too much to one particular person. You want to work on your strengths and your weaknesses at the same time as well.
Yeah, that's very true. So you also got to keep in mind too, like injuries. He's not going to have any injuries. He's been just coaching.
That's right. Yeah, we kind of expect him to come in fresh, like you say, no niggling injuries, which I think was one of the reasons why he did initially retire. I think I've read in one of his interviews, maybe his knees were quite bad, or he had little niggles here and there, and maybe he will come in and he won't have any injuries. But I'm only 29 years old. I've not had any injuries either, and I feel now the best I've ever felt. I know everybody says it, but I feel the best I've ever felt in a training camp before. Really, really strong. No, I've had a problem with my knees, my left knee, over the years, and that's not caused any problems. So I'm coming in nice and fresh as well.
Your last fight, was that part of the trilogy as well?
That was part of the trilogy.
So it's got to be pretty cool to be called back for the second one, huh?
Yeah, we're all kind of feel really privileged, to be fair. There's not many people who can fight in these times with all COVID and stuff. My twin brother, he's a Thai boxer. and he's not fought since. He's a very good Thai boxer. He's like ranked 11th in the world at his weight class, and
Wow.
he's not been able to fight since maybe February. I don't know. He's wanting to go, and he's getting a little bit frustrated. Where everyone who signed to Cage Warriors, we're fortunate enough to be able to compete, and like I say, this is actually the third trilogy, or the third time I've been able to fight since COVID. And there's no one else, certainly in the UK, who's putting on the big shows like that, except Cage Warriors.
Yeah, and I talked to Jack Grant the other day, and he was talking about he had to move into his gym and stuff, especially with the UK locking back down. What about you? Have you had to lock in your gym and stuff?
Not really. You're allowed as an elite athlete to kind of train, and I've got quite a lot of training partners. I think there's another 4 guys who are fighting on the Cage Warriors. One on the Thursday, then there's 4 of us on the Friday. So we're fortunate to come under the elite category and you'll still be able to train. I think you need to have a contract. You need to have a professional contract, and that's your proof to anyone, police or anyone who's gonna bother you to say you're allowed to be training.
So you got to carry your contract around, kind of like an ID.
I'll just get it up on the email, I think.
That's crazy.
But I'm not anyone asking, but just in case they did. And I know Graham Boyle, Cage Warriors president, has come out and said, if anyone gives anyone any trouble, just give him my number and I'll sort them out for you.
Oh goodness, Graham coming after the police. It's gonna be crazy. So let's talk a little bit of shop, man. Khabib is the big story right now. Him retiring. First of all, what did you think about his performance against Gaethje? I didn't see that fight. I didn't see it coming how he was fighting. I thought Gaethje was to the forward pressure. What did you think about it?
Yeah, that was one of the. I don't really stay up for the UFC these days, but that was a fight I did stay up for. I just thought he just. When I was watching it, I was kind of. Sometimes when you watch fights, you take a step back and you say, "This is what I would do to kind of counter that."
Right.
But I find even watching that fight, I think I don't know how you counter that kind of forward pressure that Khabib brings. He edges in. He's not worried about anything coming back to him. He's really confident, and then he's got that wrestling background. So, and on the other hand as well, just in Gaethje, I just don't think he was the same guy who beat Tony Ferguson either. I think maybe the event maybe got to him, but I just think Khabib fought the perfect fight, and it just looked like to me he just wanted to get in there, get it done, and go back. He's obviously had the loss of his dad and stuff, and to me, just he wanted to get it out the way with him so he can retire. But I know he's kind of oohing and ahhing about coming back now for the 30th win, which I'm not sure. If I was him, I'd just be retiring and be pleased with the legacy that he's got.
Yeah, because it's perfect. They used to always say, everyone loses MMA eventually. It's not like boxing. You have a Marciano or a Floyd Mayweather. But Khabib's changed that conversation, which is cementing his legacy for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely, I'm not a fan of Khabib, but I wouldn't say I was a massive fan of his fighting style. It's not massively exciting, but as far as I'm concerned, he is probably the greatest of all time. I know there's shouts for John Jones and stuff in there as well, and I think you could argue that GSP again. You could argue that, but personally, I'd say Khabib is probably the greatest of all time.
What about you? A boxing guy, any?
Say that again, bud.
Are you a boxing guy, any?
Yeah, I kind of keep up with it best I can. I wouldn't say I was an expert in keeping up with the latest news, but yeah, I do watch.
Well, on the horizons, Tyson Fury and Joshua. That's 2 of your guys too going at it. I gotta be honest. I'm more excited about that than anything I've seen in boxing in a long time.
I think Fury beats him quite easily. Yeah, I think Fury beats him within 8 rounds, maybe.
It's weird. I've talked to a few UK guys about this fight, and nobody likes Anthony Joshua. Is he not liked over there?
I think there was a lot with the kind of BLM movement where he came out and he said kind of that you should only support black-owned companies and businesses and stuff like that. And I think that might have turned people away a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. That was kind of one thing that I hear off people. I don't dislike the guy. I just think Tyson Fury is a little bit more of a humble attitude than he has. I don't really dislike Anthony Joshua, but I do prefer Tyson Fury. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, his comeback story's got to be one of my favorite time for sure. The dude was 400 pounds. That side-by-side picture of him being like, just fat and then thinning out. It's just a phenomenal picture to look at,
Yeah, he has. He's done really well, and obviously there was loads of drug issues there and stuff, and depression issues and alcohol issues and all the rest of it. But yeah, he's a big comeback, and listen, I always tend to like the underdog story. I think that is something that maybe the UK people really like, is an underdog, someone who's, like you say, been £400 and then's managed to claw himself back, and he's a world champion. He's done really well. Should be really pleased with himself.
Yep, awesome, Matt. I appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Pleasure.
Why should anybody tune in during the trilogy to watch you fight? Give me a reason. I'm already going to watch.
It's going to be a nasty fight, that's for sure. I'm going to go in there and just punch his head in, hurt him, break his face up, and it's going to be done by round number 2. And that's my big estimation. Yeah, I'm going to go and smash him in the first round, and he's going to quit in round 2.
I like it. Where can everybody find you on social media, man?
Find me on Instagram, Matt the Beast Bonner. Facebook the same, Matt Bonner. And if anyone wants to send me a message at any point and whatever, then they're more than welcome to do it.
Awesome, brother. I appreciate you coming on. Take it easy. I'll be yelling at the TV for you, bro.
It's fun. Cheers, buddy. Have a good day.
You too. Later.
Bye.